Tippy time my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. Call to Arms is out for 2 weeks and it will be our last chance to get our hands on the Ribbontail for some time. I've made myself a red ribbon army to play some laser tag to truly find out what the GODROLL is. In the left we got proximity power, wellspring, threat detector, subsistence, transcendence and envious arsenal with killing tally, redirection, binary orbit, tear, detonated beam and surrounded in the right. Now there is a few perks here I wouldn't touch with your deck. Transcendent is trash burgers, binary orbit is a helix of poo circling itself. Light GG says detonated beam is the shit, but I find it pops like a bum trying to hold a fart. Now before we line up the other perks and their best swimwear, we need to acknowledge that we already got 2 extremely good and fairly recently added adaptive strand trace rifles. This is the Incisor from Trials and the Unsworn from the Sundred Doctrine dungeon. They all share similar total stats. The ribbon strength is stability, the Unsworn's is ammo generation, and the Incisor is our plain Jane, right down the middle, still worth a romp, but not a brag. Surprisingly, the PvP weapon has the best PvP perks. I swear there is some type of like tinfoil party going on when Bungo picks their perks. The best PvP perks are normally on PvE weapons and vice versa, but it is not the case with the Incisor. This has Zen Moment, Perpetual and Dynamic in the left, with Tap, Target Lock and Kill Clip in the right. Any one of these combos will work, but I'm partial to Dynamic Target Lock. The Unsworn, according to Light GG, is technically the number 1 trace rifle, and with fairly decent reason. If you guys want to really dish in deeps, it's got rewind, bait and switch. It has the best strand tree cocktail with tear and hatchling. And that elemental honing perk is like pounding away with 2 cocks whilst you're on prismatic. I do find it funny though, with all 3 of these weapons, they have the widely considered GODROLL of subsistence in the left with killing tally in the right. Killing tally has that benefit of giving us a damage stack in 3 tiers without a timer whenever we get kills. With 1 we get a 10%, 2 a 20 and 3 a 30% damage bonus. Then we use subsistence to cramp those rounds back in, like 2 girls 1 cup do poo. This is no doubt boosted even further on our wizard with the cenotaph mask. This roughly loads 4 rounds per second back into our magazine for some double scoop poop. We laser paint the big boys to refund us and allies ammo, and this refunds us a brick of ammo, roughly 10% of our reserves. Other options that are tasty on our green wizard are the combo of Metadoxia, Arcane and Weavewalker. This allows us to abuse our melees. These are foundational pieces for any good strand kit. This is why I actually think the best left hand column perk is proximity power. Now I know that might be unpopular.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Light GG ranks this as the worst perk in the left hand column, and by reflection that means you all do too. But just think about it, when we get a weapon kill within 15 meters we gain 18 melee stat. That is closer than 2 twins scissoring to being a melee font, giving us 20 stat, and as it stacks up to 3 times for a total of 54, each lasting 10 seconds, which subsequently would be how long I would last if I saw them doing that. This also opens up your builds when it comes to statting for your kits, because realistically this is enough points to be considering it a 6th piece of armor. Now in the right we have several different damage options to consider. I'm not going to jailbait y'all. I like Surrounded, particularly when paired with proximity power, as they both have that 15 meter trigger. It requires 3 foes to activate. This may make you range goblins a little nervous in your nappies, but it will boost your weapon damage by 47%, and it will linger for an additional 1.5 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this combo on my hunter with the Mirai. It's a great hunter melee exotic. We throw out that threaded spike into a tangle. Is truly outrageous this season, with our artifact giving us that big bang attack and gimp rope combo. But this combo is future proof, as it will always be good at triggering that maelstrom, as we can duplicate it with the Mirai. Our hunters also get to abuse that gambler's dodge. We want around 80 stats to get that full charge back, but with proximity power, shelving our melee stat, we get that greater payoff even whilst we have porridge stats. The gimp rope aspect got buffed with the woven mail treatment lately, so this is now an S tier aspect to allow us to play with surrounded. Now our strand titans trip over melee builds like Russians do trafficked girls waiting to be saved by Liam Neeson. I'm a huge fan of the Wishful Ignorance and Fletcher. This made a huge sploosh at the start of Edge of Fate and pukes out unraveled particles like bees from a super soaked hive. With the ribbon, you want to use the Tanakh D origin trait. It'll boost your damage by 10% when stacked, but I found the redirection perk worked a little bit better on our Titan, as it allowed us to gain a 50% damage stack against our mages and up for every minor we dispatched. This means we don't have to be so cautious about our range games, as the Fletcher can work both as a jab and a slap. I'd be keen to hear what you guys all think. Like GG recommends Detonator Beam. I would rather stub my toe on repeat, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.